join us. We're going to do a question and answer Q&A. It'll take about a minute. For those of you that need to leave or to go on to your next please stay with us. We're going to do a question and answer afterwards. We'll set up.
I saw you. Bye. Bye.
So we'll do a short 10-minute, 15-minute Q&A. So just to set it up, so you can ask the actors questions about their process, how did they prepare for the part in the play, or you can ask them questions about the themes in 1984. So if you have a question, raise your hand. Anybody have a question? You picked the music. I did. You're good. Actually, I think we're gonna. We have a website. I could put the links to all the songs. Yes.
What was it like for you guys actually acting this out instead of just reading the book, for example?
I mean, you really like in the book, you see it from like outside perspective. When you do it like from perspective of one of the characters, you really like to see the entire like book from the perspective of that character. So I mean, like Winston absolutely hates Parsons, so it's like reading it, it's like you start to see her a little less of like.
I like O'Brien now.
Oh yeah, you love O'Brien. But you see like someone like Parsons in a very different light because you're reading it through the lens of Winston.
Good. And then the question over here, yes?
How does this play resemble today's world?
Anybody?
Or in what ways?
Yeah.
So one thing that has kind of been on my mind as of late is the grad student strike on campus. And I touched on this last night so I don't want to bore my actors here with the same spiel. But it's, of course, the UC isn't like torturing people, but there is a lot of like presenting alternative facts as a buzzword, but they're pushing a narrative that is not quite what's really going on, especially for the people who are not in positions of power, who are just fighting for a living wage, and they're being told that 2 + 2 will equal 5 at the end of the day, and they just can't, it's not happening, and they're getting fired because they're trying to work for themselves. So that's kind of the biggest comparison to life right now. And there's also something to be said for surveillance culture with like Google and just these big data companies mining you for your information and then using that to influence elections. So a couple ways that relates to our current political state.
Good. Anybody have the next question? In the back?
Yeah.
Yes.
In what ways did you decide the clothing, like the aesthetic for the entire show? I mean, 1984 was written in the 40s when people probably dressed differently and acted differently and thought in 1984 the year would look rather different than this. And how was it doing a play, I suppose, clothing-wise and prop-wise and personality-wise that was meant to take place in the...
So the question is about the costumes, is that right?
Sorry, yeah, I guess the costumes, or perhaps like thinking about it.
Anybody want to answer that?
I mean, I think like a lot of the idea behind it is something we've mentioned a lot of times. 1984 is sort of just an arbitrary number. A lot, and it sort of ties into the fact that like you know nothing about where or when you are. So I think we sort of looked at it from the lens of just like setting it in a time period and slapping the number 1984 on there, making sure that like you know that's not necessarily when this is. It's some year that is happening. The government has told us that 1984 and. Yeah, so I guess the number 1984 in itself is necessarily significant and doesn't have to affect the time period of this show.
Yeah, so people often ask, you know, he wrote it in 1948, it was published in 1949. People ask, why did you choose 1984? There's a theory that he just inverted the numbers, and that's why you got 84. But he meant to be futuristic. So we know that this dystopian futuristic. But we also know, like he alluded to, the government lies. They rewrite history. So they could have even at some point just said, this is 1984, this is 2005. Next question, you had a question?
Yeah, I was gonna ask, like, I think this is, when I read it, it's very clearly kind of a snobbish critique about communist republics and like particularly the USSR. But like, in what ways did you guys like this? Like, imagine yourself living in this world and you think, oh, this is actually kind of cool, and what ways were you like, no, this is really bad?
I don't know, any of us were like, yeah, we like this.
I like the matching.
It's not been on my mind how this like the structure of the society might like actually function in some respects, because it is just written as this like everything's sad all the time, and that's really what the text of the play pushed. And we like did do some cutting to get down to like a time that is reasonable for us to memorize with the school schedule. So yeah, I think given the way it's written, there's like no good. It's very hard to find anything good in the text.
You know, it's kind of interesting that you said you like the way they all match, right?
Yeah.
So a dystopia and utopia are kind of flip-flop. So maybe you like this, like utopia, like it's pretty cool. Everyone looks the same. But in some ways, that's also dystopian, right? Everyone looks the same.
Yeah, it's like,
This is a weird connection. Yeah.
with the costuming, I feel like, I'm kind of mixing both of the questions that just happened. With the costuming, I feel like it was supposed to be very like uniform. You didn't get to see it, but a lot of us are wearing these like wheel shirts. I guess that represents like we're cogs in the system, like we're just like going through the motions. I thought it was kind of interesting because they took all of like the joy out of everything. Like, no sugar. I love sugar. Like, that's my happiness. Like, no, not even coffee. Like, nothing that like brings any like life to you. No love, no relationships. Like, you go to work, and then you go home. So like, I think it needed to have that background for like there even to be a story, because that's like, even our relationship like between Julie and Winston isn't like amazing.
Yeah.
Like, she's just like, I like this guy, I guess, and he's like, sure. And then they like get married, and like it's amazing because they're experiencing things that nobody else has experienced. Like, they get to eat and drink these things, they get to like love each other. But if the world wasn't like so bleak, then their love story wouldn't be like anything special. It's like yeah.
Yeah, I personally thought that it was kind of enjoyable to have this sort of a devious expression of power, you know, against Winston, I guess. But at the same time, it's kind of makes you step back a little bit and think like this. And you might imagine that this could actually be happening right now, as maybe even as we speak, and we just don't know about it. And it's something, and seeing how normalized it is in the play makes you think that it might actually just be that normalized now within, you know, powers, like the unforeseen power of Big Brother is kind of like the unforeseen power of government secrets. And, you know, as we move into whether or not we should be private or public, then it sort of, I guess, skirts that edge that we're also skirting right now in our society.
Good. Two more questions? Take two more.
I'm curious, like, about your perception of what reality is before you have this experience and after. Because, you know, like, that really comes into question.
Yes. Yeah,
Can we get somebody else want to answer that question? Can you repeat it again?
It's just like your perception of reality prior to having this experience.
I'm the one that was saying,
You
right?
guys,
I'm just curious what you think of that.
Yeah, no other one answer that? We get somebody else. Say, yeah.
Definitely after this entire experience, it made me really aware of all the surveillance. So we did do this one project where we literally had to take pictures of all the cameras that we saw, like while we're walking on the streets, and also screen capture all the time we log in on a certain app. Because every time you log in, if it's geolocated, it will know where you are. And basically from your logins and where shops you walk past with cameras, big cameras, whoever is watching all of it and compiles it all can see your exact path as you move through life. And that's scary.
In terms of like what like reality means and our perception, and like one thing that we did discuss in the class is we're discussing with big like data companies and all that, is that there's like social media bots and influencers. Sometimes there are people who will try to influence the like emotions you're feeling. Like Facebook kind of will put up little like emoticon responses you can have. They're trying to shape your image and your perception of reality through those emotions and through a like way of seeing. So that was one way that we kind of talked about what's happening in the play with the changing of reality based on perception.
Good
And
one.
the connection we have with that.
Good, then one last question, we gotta wrap up and straight. One last question, anybody? Yes?
For somebody who maybe had never been in a play, never acted really before, kind of like how that experience was and like what it was like, and even for the people who have acted before, like how has this been different from other things you've been in?
Maybe did well, Stefan, we heard this is like the first time you're be here.
This experience has been really wonderful. It's really fun to break out of your box and try to be something else and kind of let go of your own boundaries of who you think you are and all the things, all the walls you put up to keep yourself safe. And at the beginning, it was really uncomfortable for me. On the first day that we started rehearsals, I literally was thinking about how to tell my professor that I'm planning to break my leg. And so I cannot be in the play. So, I'm glad I did.
Stefan, yeah?
Yeah.
Also the first time, right?
Yeah, I share the same feeling. Before this, I was not too into doing a play in high school. I kind of just avoided all that and just stuck to sports. But after this experience, it was really enjoyable, and I feel like I got a nice role to kind of ease into things. So it's fun.
Good job.
I'm in a similar boat. I had a pretty easy role to weigh me in the acting experience. I felt like my character was kind of fitting me as a person, being, just like snobby, not a lot of lines, yeah, I enjoyed it.
Good. Thank you for coming out.